Hi everyone, I'm doing a get ready with me with a few things that I picked up from the Sephora sale, as well as using this Juvia's Place palette. I have a cold and it's like one of those chest, like cough, throat situations, so I'm probably not going to talk much because I also want to do a lip swatch video, and I'm going to go real basic on the eyes because I'm doing a lip swatch video and I don't want the eye stuff to like interfere with the lip colors. Anyway, I can feel just this much talking. It's kind of taxing on my voice right now. So I'm just going to get into the eyes first. So I'm going to prime with the Conceal and Define Revolution Concealer in C0.5. I've been using the Cover FX concealer and it does not prime the eyes nearly as well as this Revolution one does. So eyeshadow definitely does not last. It doesn't cling as well. Like, depending on the formula, they might crease a little bit or fade. So I'm going to take Madagascar in the crease. And the nice thing about the Juvia's Place mattes is that even though often the mattes that are in the palette are like mid-tone or darker, and so you don't get, if you're lighter, you don't get any transition shades. The nice thing is that you can put them on sheerly and they're not super dark, which I appreciate. So I don't feel like I have to grab for another palette. I'm going to take the same shade Madagascar on just a smaller, denser brush just to add a little bit more definition, build up the color a little so it looks a little deeper. And this is a super old, like, crown brush. This is a really pretty color because it's like it's a warm brown, but it's a little bit more yellow than orange. Next, I'm gonna go all over the lid with Zuri, which is really light. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put something darker on top of it, but for right now, I'm just gonna put this all over the lid and see what I think. Just gonna go back in with this brush. I'm not adding anything to it, but it will I'll add a little bit more of that brown on the outer corner. Just kind of diffuse the edges of it. And I think I might be able to just be good with this. I got a new light reflecting setting powder pressed, and it's already so grubby. I'm gonna go in with this NYX Faux Blacks in Burnt Sienna, which is a warm brown, kind of like a reddish brown. I think I do want some actual eyeliner on that top lash line, but I don't want to go in with that because it's a little more colorful than I'm looking for. So I'm going to go in with this CoverGirl Perfect Blend pencil. What's really nice is this smudges out so nicely. And this is in the black brown shade. It is a little stiff. It's definitely softer and easier to use after you sharpen it, but it's almost like kind of a powder pencil type thing, and I find a lot of pencils don't smudge very well, but this one really does, and it works really well using the smudger on the actual pencil. Okay, so I'm going to use the Benefit Bad Gal Bang mascara. The wand is very floppy, which is kind of an odd sensation. So should we try foundation? So I picked up the Hourglass Stick foundation, and I did get the lightest shade. So here's a few swatches. Too Faced Born This Way in Cloud. This generally looks a little too white on my face, like it doesn't have enough warmth. I thought that's what Blanc was going to look like because they seem so similar, but for whatever reason, this Hourglass Vanish Stick in Blanc just looks better on my face. Smashbox Studio Skin 15-hour hydrating 0.1 is a really good shade match for me. It's a little bit more yellow toned, and I feel like the depth is pretty similar here. It will get just a tiny bit darker as it dries. A couple stick foundations. This is the Anastasia stick foundation in Warm Alabaster. I find this formula just kind of tricky to use, and it's about a shade darker and more yellow toned. Maybelline Superstay in 102 for Porcelain, the stick foundation. Again, this color isn't bad. It's just, it's hard to apply. I get pretty decent wear out of it, but it's really difficult for me to apply without like it settling into my pores. And then Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in 102 for porcelain. They actually have released 102 in the Dewy and Smooth, which I have purchased, and I'm just waiting to pick it up from Walmart, so we will see how that one looks. I'm excited. I did find this breaks down a little bit on me by the end of the day, and sometimes a primer that can help with that is my Tatcha Silk Canvas, so I think maybe I'll try that one. Sometimes the Veil primer can actually make that worse for me, having things break down, so I'm just going to do half. So as you may or may not know, I have a really hard time using makeup brushes for foundation. It just doesn't work, so I'm going to use a sponge. This does not blend out very easily with a sponge. So it's kind of slow. A lot of sticks are. I wouldn't say that's unique to this one. Some are harder than others. So also, as you know, I try to match my neck, not my face, because my face is a lot darker than my neck, and so I'm always trying to kind of lighten my face up. I like light to medium coverage. I have issues with creasing, things settling into my pores, separation around my mouth and chin, and I'm combo, dry, oily. But the weather is changing, so I think my oil production is going down a bit, my dryness is going up a bit. But this looks better than I was thinking it would. I'm curious how this is going to look on camera, because I feel like it really looks like a better color than I was expecting. That's probably why it looked so dark when I mixed it with the ColourPop. Whenever I do a stick foundation, my arm gets tired of blending. It's ridiculous. I did wear a more matte SPF today, so because I wanted to help the longevity if I could. So that's why I think it doesn't look super glowy on me. Cover FX Power Play Concealer in N-Fair 0. N-Fair 1. What I've been doing actually is taking the concealer off the side there, because I do find it kind of like drips over. So I'm trying to conserve product a little bit and keep it from getting too messy. This is by far my favorite concealer. The color works well for me. I'm able to keep a lot of coverage. It's very fair without like making my kind of bluish greenish discoloration look gray. It wears amazingly all day. Alright, I'm going to set this real quick with my NARS Light Reflecting Setting Powder pressed. I like to apply this with a sponge. Just works best for me. I am tired, man. The children have not been sleeping very well. At least only one kid got up last night. Jack, the baby. Frickin' diaper leaks, man. Bane of my existence. So Bomb Lash Mascara and eyebrows. Eyebrows. Yet another bane of my existence. I'm gonna use a powder that's no longer available for many, many years. The Urban Decay Eyeshadow in Shakedown. There's something about this that has kind of like a, it's like the tone of, the undertone of cocoa powder. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a color that I find does not go too warm or too cool on my eyebrows. I feel like it looks pretty natural. Alright, good enough. I don't want to mess with it anymore. Brow gel, I'm using the new ColourPop Brow Boss Gel in dark brown. So far I like this pretty well. This one, I have heard many people comparing it to Boy Brow and the Gimme Brow from Benefit. I have not tried Boy Brow, but I have tried Gimme Brow, and I do feel like it's pretty similar to that. But also another good affordable option is, it's not as cheap, but you can get it on sale pretty easily, is the Ulta Tinted Brow Gel. I'm liking this makeup. Yay! I don't feel sticky really. So I did buy the Natasha Denona Super Glow because of Shelly, Geek Out of Water. Because on my hand I feel like it just looks kind of champagne. So I'm going to use the Flower Pots Peach Primrose. Wipe that brush off a little bit. So I think I'm going to go kind of bold on the highlight. I'm going to use a synthetic brush. This is one from Target. Came in a set of Up and Up brushes. I don't know if it's still available, but it's just kind of a little bit more flat as opposed to something like the Luxie highlighting brush, which I like a lot, but is a lot bigger and a little less dense. So I do have some bumps here so you can see what it looks like on texture. I'm kind of hesitant to set this foundation because I really like the way it looks right now. I don't want to mess with that. I do think I'm going to set this with a brush as opposed to using my sponge. When something is, I really like how the NARS powder works with a sponge, but if I have something that's already a little bit too light, sometimes that can make it look even whiter because it does put in quite a bit of product. So I'm going to use this e.l.f. pointed powder brush instead and just try to press it in a little bit just on my more oily areas. Areas that I tend to crease. I'm going to go record my lip swatch and then I will be back in a minute to chat. Alright, I'm back. So I am wearing the ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in Midnight Snack on my face today. The other thing that I swatched that I considered wearing, but I thought it just kind of accentuated that my base might be a little too light, is the Fenty Stunna Lip Paint in Unbutton, one of the new shades. I did swatch them on my hands here. The Fenty is more brown looking on me, and this one looks a little bit more, on my lips I feel like it looks a tiny bit pink, peach. Finding things that are just like peach and not pink on my face, not orange, just peach, challenging. That's one of the things I'm always kind of on the lookout for. Yeah. I do this, it looks lighter. I do this, this looks lighter. I don't know. Maybe it's just how much light is hitting what part. I guess if I have time I'll do a check-in. I don't know if I will. Okay, so it's been about 9.5 hours. It is 8 o'clock, 8:03. So I thought I'd just check in, show you guys how it's looking, and I have blotted, but before I blotted I zoomed in and we looked at my face. I feel like from a distance it looks okay. Up close you can see how it's really kind of broken down and gotten a little cakey and patchy, but from a distance it looks good, and this liquid lipstick is still on my face from like 10:30 this morning, maybe 11, and I've had lunch, dinner, snack, many coffees. So I'm very surprised. I was expecting it not to be on my lips anymore, but, and like just have a ring around the edges, but it's hanging in, so that's pretty impressive. And I feel like my cheap products are like going strong. On this side, how it's looking kind of like patchy and separated, cakey. It does not aggravate my dermatitis, so no peeling, which is great. So like on my dry areas, it's looking really good. Like the cheeks are good, blush is still there, highlight is still super great. Concealer's looking beautiful. It's not dry, it's not creasing. Look how smooth, so smooth. Let's see, it's not settling into my pores. I feel like I don't even have a lot of visible pores through here, which is a kind of a trouble area for me. Maybe a tiny bit less cakey up here on the non-prime side versus the prime side. I feel like it kind of broke down in a funny way on this side that didn't happen so much on this side, but let's blot because it's really hard to see with that oil in the way. Yeah, it seems to be basically my whole T-zone is kind of like this, where you can just really see the makeup kind of sitting on my skin now. It just looks a little separated and cakey. Look at this eyebrow. It's like down in my crease. It's ridiculous. And yeah, see my eyeshadow still going strong. That eyeliner still looks great. This is just a get ready with me. It's not like my my full review where I try to, you know, try a lot of foundations don't work for me the first several times I try them. So what I plan on doing is trying a different skincare underneath it, and different primers, not primers, powders, not powders, different, you know, types of powders. Some things, just like the NARS Sheer Glow formula, it always breaks down on my face if I try to get it to stick. If I don't use primer, powder, all that stuff, it will just kind of fade away, and I prefer that, to be honest. It's just that fade away happens really quickly, so it's not worth it for me to wear that. But if I can get like 8 hours before it starts wearing off, I'm okay with that. So we'll see how this goes. If this ends up being one that I feel like works better, it fades away more gracefully with no like stuff to stick it to my face, I may do that. Yeah, so we'll see. I will keep trying it, and I definitely will do a review on it. I'm still so surprised that the color works so well. All right, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Hopefully, I don't know. I have no idea. While I was trying to edit this video earlier, I literally fell asleep while I was editing it. So we'll see. Hopefully I said everything. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below. I always love chatting with you guys in the comments, and I've been getting lots of comments lately, which I really appreciate. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video, as always. And if you want to see more videos from me and you aren't already, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a video. So yeah, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.